Hello everyone, you are watching a snippet of the countdown program from October 3, 2022. Today is Monday. See the full version of the program on the Patreon resource. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. It's one thing to work out a clown's act in the Kremlin on a large-scale annexation of territories, and quite another to calculate real losses on the battlefield. The armed forces of Ukraine took Lyman and continued to advance. On October 2, the armed forces of Ukraine continued to liberate settlements to the east and northeast of Lyman, and also liberated Torsky in the Donetsk region. The Rashists withdrew to the northeast, to positions around Kremenia and along the Svatovo-Kremenia highway. The armed forces of Ukraine continued to move east of Kupiansk. There is an offensive in the north of the Kherson region. It is reported about the consolidation of positions in Zolotoy Balka and Kreshchenovka. Shevchenkovka and Lyubomovka were also taken under control. In a word, all Rashist victories exist only in the inflamed skull of a bald commander. Even their own environment begins to suspect schematists of impotence. Because to squeeze out business, spheres of influence and even other people's territories according to grey schemes is one thing, but to fight, develop a military strategy and master the tactics of war is quite another. The improvisations of Putin's schematic command are so-so. Deputy Andrei Gurulev does not hide his annoyance at the loss of 1.5 million sets of uniforms. Where did the 1.5 million kits that were stored at the points of reception of personnel go? Where are the problems with the form? Nobody is going to explain this in any way, Gurulev said in his Telegram channel. As if he did not serve in Putin's army and is not aware of the extent of the theft. Sawing for a cave is a sacred thing. In general, Putin's command is not criticized by anyone, even Prigozhin and Kadyrov. The latter called for urgently inflicting low-power tactical nuclear strikes on the territory of Ukraine, since it is impossible to throw cannon fodder. And Prigozhin has recently grown bolder and began to criticize right and left. A couple of days ago he smashed to smithereens a proposal to legalize the sending of convicts to the combat zone. The use of convicts in hostilities must be done very carefully. I'm afraid that this law will mow down them under the same brush. The most important thing is that prisoners should not replace those who must be mobilized by law, Prigozhin said, tinkling 3 stars of the hero in Brezhnev style, LNR, DNR in Russia. The accusation of inability to promptly respond to the aggravation of the situation, sounded by Kadyrov and Prigozhin, certainly had verbal approval from the very top, otherwise they would have already started cases against them about discrediting the army. Rumor has it that the tactical alliance of Kovalchuk, Zolotov and Prigozhin has radicalized its claims to the Ministry of Defense amid provocative rumors about a possible military coup. And here the story with Ksenia Sobchak takes on piquant nuances, in whose actions the police saw the spread of fakes about power. We are talking about an alleged fake about state funding of festivals. The police sent materials to the investigative committee, giving Putin's goddaughter a clear signal: leave before it's too late. But few people believe in the reality of criminal prosecution. After all, Sobchak is closely connected with the Kovalchuks and Zolotov. The schemers scold, they only amuse themselves. And on the ground, their own hot spots are formed. Young people between the ages of 18 and 26 have begun to oppose Putlo mobilization. Those turned out to be 56%. However, over 70% of respondents over 44 support this decision. Meanwhile, the results of the mobilization, announced by the military commissar of St. Petersburg, drove the leader responsible for the draft in the Northwestern Federal District into a complete frenzy. The effectiveness of the system of district military commissariats is estimated at 10%. In the Khabarovsk territory, Governor Degtyarev completely dismissed the chief military commissar. While fights of local significance are taking place on regional mats, the main mat is supporting the growing rumble of criticism of the Ministry of Defense. And the racists continue to retreat. Even the Rashist media state that the armed forces of Ukraine managed to cross the administrative border of the so-called LPR and gain a foothold in the direction of Lysychansk. But such a photo was received today from Mikhailovka, Kherson region. It seems that one more settlement will have to be deleted from the list of annexed territories. And then there is the whole area. Why be petty? Become our patrons now and see further in our program. Propagandist Margarita Simonyan is preparing to change her shoes, and Deputy Gurulev calls not to stop at the destruction of the Nord Stream gas pipeline and blow it up further. Former CIA Chief David Petraeus spoke about how the United States would respond to Putin's nuclear attack. And British Defense Secretary Ben Wallace said that Russia is unlikely to use nuclear weapons. And finally, a funny message from TASS propagandists. Russia will continue to consult with the population of the Kherson and Zaporozhye regions on the issue of the borders in which they enter the Russian Federation. Rashists, I suggest, this is not for you with the population, it is necessary to consult with the armed forces of Ukraine. And you even guess what advice you will be given. So get out before it's too late. Until the Belgorod People's Republic declared sovereignty and asked to join Ukraine. And not only she. And that's all for today. See the full version of the program on the Patreon resource. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. Hugs to all. See you on Thursday. Glory to Ukraine.